Hello friends, welcome back. It's time for another episode of BigDenoPlays Dragon Eclipse. We're nearing the end of the campaign, the conclusion, one assumes anyway, because we only have a few missions left, and one that we're going to go for in this episode is called Shadow Alliance. We've been away for work, so I haven't been playing for a little while. You can't really see, but this is the one we're going to go for. L0, Shadow Alliance. I'm excited. L0. Let's dive in and have a go.
After your underground experiences and the encounter with Artios, you are at a loss. You wish you knew what to do next. However, as you travel on, you unexpectedly meet Skuld, who is searching for you. Both of you share your suspicions on the recent developments.
Yes, there is a dragon guardian in the north, she says. Many have seen the beast, and it fills us with fear. The brute appeared close to the area where we are building a haven, an evacuation outpost.
You quickly change the subject and ask her what she thinks of the portals.
They must be closed. They only further disturb the balance of the world, which has been shattered since the eclipse. Once we get through, we will help you seal them. Good riddance to the world of the dark, I say. First, however, we must flee it. All of us.
Suddenly she lowers her voice.
For that to happen, we need a certain something. It is crucial that we have it, otherwise the evacuation will fail. Can you help me get it?
Well, you cannot close the portals by yourself, and you are not sure if the dragons will want to collaborate with you. The Fae, however, have collected profound knowledge. Such allies might help you tip the balance and save the crumbling world.
A water mistling would be useful. Well, I haven't got a water mistling. I've got an air and a light one. I would like to have. I haven't used a water mistling this whole time, I don't think. But let's do it. We're going to start the scenario. This is the final scenario of the campaign. Oh my god. That's cool. Do we have Someone's Missing Part 2? No, we do not. Continue.
You approach Skuld and tell her that you are willing to help.
So you agree. That's wonderful,
Skuld sighs.
Right, so now we must find any of those blasted dragons. Look at these rings.
She shows you some hoops, 1 foot wide.
They enable you to bind some dragon essence,
she explains. You touch the ring and feel the remainder of your dragon power sneak into it. The ring flashes in return, but the whole act escapes Skuld's attention.
We need the dragon essence to power the barrier which protects us from guardians. I don't know exactly how it works, but there is no doubt that a strong accumulation of power is confusing for every guardian. Facing it, the beast ceases to see and even forgets about the place, provided the protected place is infused with the same type of energy as its own. Listen, I think of you as my ally. I sought you, hoping you might want to help us.
You are not sure if the word allies fits, but indeed cooperation with Fae seems the only option available. And there is an idea. One of the portals has closed, and Skuld says the guardians are always exhausted after shutting one, and they naturally fall asleep. This is how the Fae got one of them. If you find another dormant dragon, it will be possible to steal some of its essence. The only problem might be the dragon's uncanny ability to blend with their surroundings. Where to start the search then? And time is running out.
I have 3 essence, so I am going to gain 3 power. 1, 2, 3. If you have the light in the shadow, part 5. We do not have light in the shadow, part 5. So we open map 24 and then we begin exploration. Look at the map carefully to find possible locations where a dragon guardian could hide. Well, here's an L15. L37 up there.
The object you have just noticed on the side of the mountain could be a shadow, a jagged crack, or the body of a dragon. It is too far away to make sure, given that you have no idea what the Dragon Guardian of the Dark looks like, or if it even exists. So far, it has only inhabited bedtime stories. From afar, the lake seems unperturbed, almost frozen in time. You, however, are intrigued by its 3 islands with weird irregular shapes. The slope of the hill resembles a resting dragon guardian, and you are unexpectedly struck by the memory of the dragon who sacrificed its life to close the portal near Kehrberg. It is a sad moment, but you cannot stop thinking that its soul brought you so much torment.
Interesting. I think we'll go with this one, L25, the water one. But I forget what we had to do. L12.
The area you are watching is staggeringly vast, and it would take a lifetime to explore all the hills, groves, and valleys. How can you find the Dragon Guardian quickly enough? As you near the lake, you feel disturbing vibrations. Weeks of bearing the dragon soul within yours made you sensitive to the presence of the energy of the Dragon Guardians. You are sure that one of them is somewhere nearby. You beckon Skuld, and you head toward the shore. Watching the islands from the shore of the lake, you realize that they do resemble a dragon guardian. What is more, you feel its power.
The monster is sleeping,
Skuld says.
Good for us, but it will wake up soon. When it steals enough energy from the lake, we can sneak up on it and try to suck out some of its essence. The more the better, but no risk, please. There is too much at stake for us to die now.
She shows you a few rings.
This is our tool to store dragon essence, and for all I know, we should avoid approaching the dragon's head. Their senses are heightened, so you never know. What I don't know is how we get there. I am not good at sailing or swimming. There isn't enough water in the Shadow Realm to learn.
Alright, open map 25. Oh my god, look at that. That's sick. What is that? Map 25. There it is. and take 4 random items from the item deck and 2 random items with a thing. Alright, I have my map, I have these 4 random items without eyeballs and 2 with eyeballs. If you have the revelation status, do we have revelation? We do not. Add 2 random items. If you have the consequences status, we do not. We don't have token B, so we begin the exploration. L, that's his head, so we don't want to go there. Let's go L48.
You consider the smallest of the islands, an oblong one, located away from the shore. As you swim, the surface of the lake gets rough, and the waves grow stronger and stronger. The Dragon Guardian must have sensed something. The moment you place your foot on the ground, you realize that it starts to shift. You load up the rings, and at the same time you fight to stand still as the ground becomes more and more unstable. It dawns on you that you are actually standing on the tail of the dragon, and it knows about it. At one point you cannot stand the tension. You give up and flee.
We managed to energize a few rings. Discard the top item from the alertness deck. Is it a... Oh, it is a shadow. There are not 2. Lock script L48 and continue the exploration. I want to go see these little guys. I don't know what they are. They look like little dudes.
A few water mistlings frolic at the brook, but they flee when you arrive. You're not surprised by their skittishness. You worry about the proximity of a terrifying dragon yourself. There are streams of water flowing down the mistlings' long necks. They must be baby aquakins. Judging by their size, they must have just hatched. Where is their parent, then? There is nothing important for you to do here. Well,
Alright, we're performing a test. If you have at least 2, discard the alertness test. Do we have 3 parts of the empathy status? We have 1 part of the empathy status. We need a 6. Alright, 3 is a good start, followed by a 3. We gain a fatigue. Yeah, cool. I'm happy with that. We'll just take that. 6 is gain a fatigue and we place a water symbol in front of us. Yeah. So, the fatigue, I'm going to put that in our Fur Wings deck. We do not have it. So we'll go to L35.
you are approaching the waterfall when it suddenly occurs to you that the waterfall is approaching you as well. You shake your head in surprise, and then you realize that it is not an illusion. You have just met an adult aquakin. The creature approaches you carefully, with no signs of hostility. A gang of little aquakins bravely appears from behind your back and runs up to their parent. There is gratitude in the aquakin's eyes, and you know that taming such a wonderful creature, albeit tempting, would make little sense now. The aquakin should focus on raising its offspring, and besides, you have no time for it anyway. The aquakin bows before you and spurts a jet of water at you. The rings you carry flash as they intercept the essence of the Guardian, hidden in every drop.
Let's go to the trees here. I reckon they look nice.
Delicate rays of sun penetrate the canopies and illuminate the ground cover of the forest, blue with hundreds of little berry bushes. You have started cutting down trees to build the raft. Soon enough, waves appear on the lake and a distant growling reaches you. You were loud, yes, but you thought you had worked far enough away from the waters. Maybe you are close to the dragon's head.
Alright, we're still good. We've only got one. Let's go to L40.
With your first steps, you already feel the power of the island. Soon you come across a crystal jutting from the ground. Skuld approaches and raises her ring, which almost immediately begins leeching power. Having filled a few of them, you realize that the crystal has no more power to share. You return to the shore.
Alright, we've got 3 essence now, so anything we do is likely to start this fight. Wonder what L10 says for us.
The path takes you to the top of the hill, and Skuld assures you that you can also take this way to her camp. If you think you have enough essence, you should do it. There is nothing else either of you can do, so you head for the hill. When you reach the top, you hear a long, mighty roar behind you. You turn back to see the Dragon Guardian rising from the water, foaming cascades splashing loudly from its back. The movement of the gigantic creature rocks the waves which gather speed and flood the valley. The dragon takes off, and it flies in the same direction as you travel. Skuld breaks into a run to follow, and so do you. You run like fury through the forest. Every few hundred steps you come across a small portal or a crack. Panting, you ask Skuld what to think about them. "Don't worry about them." Skuld is exhausted too. "These are just ripples from the big moon gate, and will close when the big one does." You scurry on when a cry of pain rings out somewhere before you. It is Skuld. You turn to reach her, and you see a bleeding wound on her leg. You look around the shady forest, but there is nothing threatening in sight. You are about to help Skuld dress the wound when one of the shadows turns corporeal and attacks.
Excellent! I shall set up a battle against an enemy Shade Claw. Alright, we're back. Here's the Shade Claw. And we're taking the Luminesca. Okay, so we have a dangerous terrain. Might just see if we can tweak that a little. So we have a dangerous terrain on the flower space, and then at the end of your turn, if you're within range 1 of the dangerous terrain. Okay, so this guy is just gonna be annoying, so we want to be outside of range 1 of that. Shadeclaw has 18 health, 6 damage. Man, that's punishing. Movement 3 is a lot. What's his armour? He's only got 1 armour. Alright. And his special ability is on 2. Passive. Doesn't gain damage if there is at least 1 mirror image. After... Oh, it's okay, so... Yeah, so he's just going to do mirror images. The drain effect of mirror images also heals Shadeclaw. Yuck! Yuck! We're going to deal with this Shadeclaw. That's alright. We got Pierce. We got 3 power to start us off. That's nice. We just need to power up some brightness. Scorching Sun. Alright. Let's have a zoom. We have Scorching Sun. Gain a brightness, steal slow, and we're going to gain another brightness. That is almost certainly the one we'll be going for. And there's a square on top. Yeah, we're going for Scorching Sun. But this is reshuffle your deck. Do not discard your upgrades trigger. That's powerful. Photosynthesis. Gain 2 at the start. Yeah, I really want to use that as well. But that doesn't have trigger. So yeah, we will absolutely use Scorching Sun to gain us 2 brightness, and 2 brightness, and it also triggers slow in range 2. So he is slow, which means he's only movement 1. That gained us a power, but we're going to immediately spend that power to just move 1 to here. Yep. Cool. So this appears here. We spend our 3 to deal 1 damage in range 4 for each brightness we have. It just deals 2 damage. No, it only deals 1 damage. No, we'll call it there. So that's fine. So the square, he's going to rush, which is going to go to here. And that's it. Alright, we're going to do low wavelength. We're going to trigger after we attack in any range. So we're attack 3, he's 0 armor. So he's going to go down to 15. And we then get to trigger. And I reckon we trigger photosynthesis, which is gain 2, and that is an upgrade that we keep. And at the start of our turn, we're going to gain 1. So we have lots. These will move forward. And I will... what's he doing next? Interrupt 1 in range 3. Deal weak in range 3. So we'll move to there. So he's not going to get it, but he's going to get us interrupt 1 in any range. So that's annoying. Gain a brightness. I don't have that in my deck. That's just a carryover from the last mission. Luminous Infusion. Okay. Yep, that'll do. So interrupt 1, I've got to check my rule book. Interrupt 1. Discard the X rightmost cards from the track. Yep. So that means we are going to discard Undying Light. And The reason he's doing that, if we have a look here, he's got interrupt in range 3, deal weak in range 3, neither of those trigger us, but then he's going to do the interrupt 1 in any range. He's now going to trigger his special, which is place a mirror image in range 2 in a space farthest from the opponent. So his mirror image is going to appear here. And that's all. So now the Shadeclaw can't gain damage if there's at least one mirror image in the arena. After Shadeclaw resolves, each mirror image in the arena also resolves it. So we can attack in any range. The mirror image is 1 health, armor 1. Yeah. So yeah, we'll play at low wavelength, which is attack in any range. If your opponent is on a thingy space trigger, we are not on a trigger. And when at the start of our turn we gain a power. Oh yeah. No, what we'll do is we'll just spend 1 power to use our exchange, which is deal 1 damage to a target anywhere on the board in any range, and we have to suffer 1 damage to do that. So we will suffer 1 damage to deal the 1 damage to the shadow. These guys are really good for defeating shade monsters. And then we will play low wavelength, which is attack in any range. We're in attack 3, so we're going to deal another 1, 2, 3. It's down to 12. And that creates trigger. So we're going to move. Oh, we also gain 3, so we'll go 1, 2. We're going to move. No, we won't move. We'll stay where we are. We'll do a Luminous Infusion, deal 3 damage in any range. That's going to be 2. 1, 2. And that will give us +1 to all of our stats for each upgrade that we currently have, which is 1 upgrade. And that is good. Woo-hoo-wee. Okay, so the triangle triggers again, which is discard this. And that's the only thing he does. So we've got maximum stuff. We're just going to play Scorching Sun, which is going to take us up to 10 power. We're going to gain 2 brightness, and we're going to deal slow in range 2. But with that, we are going to spend 3 power to deal 4 damage, which is reduced down to 3 for a total of 7. We're getting this guy. We're getting him. Come on now. And that cost us 3 power, so we're at 7. We could do another one. Yep, let's do another one. Using our ability, but it does 1 damage to us. These all go away. 1, 2, 3. Oh, blinding radiance! How cool's that? Okay, so he's doing the same thing again. He's discarding Inner Light. Boom, and then he's not moving, and then he's going to summon a shadow, and it's going to go here again. So start of our turn, we gain a power from our upgrade, so we have 7. And let's just do this. We will spend 1 power to destroy the shadow, 1 damage in any range. Then we'll play Blinding Radiance, that gets us 2 power, which takes us to 8. We deal 6 damage and slow in any range. That leaves him alive with 1. But if we do our Prismatic Lens first, that will deal 4 damage, and then we'll deal 6 damage, which will defeat the Shadeclaw using our Blinding Radiance, our foil. Excellent. Good win. So we defeated that guy. Let me turn off my thing. Turn this back on. Do we go to L?
The Shade Claw is a terrifying opponent that uses shadows as extra limbs. With a tremendous effort, you manage to chase it away. You help Skuld stand up and support her as you move on. She walks with a limp, but her face shows no emotions. The roaring of the Dragon Guardian and the sounds of a battle can be heard from afar. When you and Skuld reach the camp, you see a shimmering barrier, most likely created and powered by the tower in the heart of the camp. The dragon, which keeps trying to break the barrier with powerful water jets, must be infuriated by the resistance. You also see a portal and groups of Fae traveling through it. So, this is the evacuation from the Shadow Realm.
See the cracks in the barriers,
Skuld shouts.
The haven is falling. We must power the crystal and try to fix all the damage in it.
All right, open map 26. Token B is in front of you. It is not. Wonder if that was if you failed to defeat the Shade Claw. Begin the exploration. All right. That was good from the Luminesca. Good fight. Look at this. Set the time tracker to 2. Where is me time tracker? There it is. 2. Place secret 59. Alright, there's the Dragon Guardian. Look at him. That's unreal. We need to power the crystal. L28, I reckon, is our go.
The crystal and the machinery feed power to the barrier. The dragon essence which you collected may also fuel the crystal which seems to weaken.
Have you seen those?
Skuld asks and points at the cracks in the crystal. They all glimmer silvery in the sun. The Fae filled the cracks with one of the rarest resources in the Shadow Realms that conducts the energy of the Guardians. It can't be simple silver, can it? Is it possible for you to help there? Skuld is astonished to see the coins in your pouch.
So much sacred material,
She gasps.
May I have them? I need to try something out.
She takes one coin and places it on the crystal. The power of the crystal causes the coin to melt, and Skuld, carefully and focused, takes a wooden tool and smears the molten metal on the surface of the crystal, filling the cracks. Seeing that it works, you give her the rest of your silver without complaining. The barrier seems to be thin, almost flickering here. It is most certainly its weakest spot, and you feel you should try to understand the nature of the malfunction, and perhaps fix it.
Alright, test time. We do not have... Oh, you may spend or an essence to discard all cards. Start the test again. There's a 1 and a 3 and a 3. That's a 7. Come on! We could have discarded essence, but... Alright, so we've got Fey Helper Part 8 and Fey Helper Part 2. We're on fire. Let's go to L34.
Some Fae come through the portal, casting around unsure looks. Others bustle and yell orders, helping to move the loaded carts. The din is deafening. The Fae seem to be in a hurry, but the sight of the approaching beast makes them falter. Some look as if they are about to run back. The portal, too, seems unstable, probably due to the functioning of the barrier and the vicinity of the dragon. Those Fae who know the portal's stabilizing technology are busy fighting the dragon. If the passage closes down, some Fae will be trapped forever on the other side. You watch the portal's behavior and the small devices deployed around it. You have no idea what to do next, and when you look at Skuld, she only shakes her head.
Alright, it's another test time. We need a 6 or a 7. But if we have a time... Okay, so there's a 4, good start. And a 3, that's a 7. Yes. Fey Helper Part 6. Get in. Get in. Alright, let's go to 56.
The Fae guard the barrier with their rings, which absorb part of the energy hurled by the dragon. The rings accumulate more and more power until they flash blindingly. Some other Fae run up to the defenders, replace the rings with cold, dark ones, and hastily take the loaded rings to the tower.
Alright, so time's run out. Go to script L1.
The situation seems hopeless. The Fae are on the brink of exhaustion, but they still repel the dragon. What's worse, there is a vast hole gaping in the barrier. The dragon guardian, however, ceases to attack. Astonished, you watch the creature raise its head and make a vibrating, mesmerizing sound. As if on cue, a sizable Gyadon flies out of the forest and heads for the barrier. You expect the Mystling to smash against it, but no such thing happens. After all, it is not a dragon guardian. The Mystling lands in the middle of the camp and immediately charges for the crystal. You stand in its way. It cannot damage the spire.
It's time for another combat. And this time, I think we'll use our fur wing because we're facing off against a Gyadon. And that seemed like a cool plan. Oh, we can gain 3 power. Alright. So we got 5 now. That is awesome. Alright, map 3. I'm going to get this right this time, I promise. Alright, I'll set it up. Okay, we're all set up. So we have our air elemental, the Furwing, and we have the Gyadon. Now we're not allowed to let 3 damage onto this here, this marker. Because that's the machinery, that's the portal basically. If we're within range 1 of that, we gain 2 power. If it starts within range 2 of it, though, it will damage it. So this is exciting. There's a tree. It's got a tree somewhere too. That's its tree. The Spirit-Bound Summon. That's cool. What does it do if there is a Spirit-Bound tree? Oh, we need to kill the tree. Man, I'm telling you, my other dude would be better, I reckon. Yeah, this is all attacks from the... Yeah. Anyway. We'll stick with this. We'll stick with this Furwing. One, two. Yep, so 1. Oh, Lightning Strike. 2, 3. Okay, move an opponent in any range by up to 3 spaces. The opponent gains slow. We can put that there. Oh no, it's in any one of these spaces. We had to set it up. Okay, we've got some good choices here. We've got Lightning Strike, which is a very powerful ability. But we might save that one. We've got this move, attack, and then move again. Attack, pierce 2. Move an opponent in any range by up to 3 spaces. They gain slow. Yep, so I'm going to do Airborne. It's going to get... We're going to move this guy. 1, 2, 3. And he's now slow. So that means he's movement 1. We're going to move 1 space by spending 1 of the 3 power that we just gained. That gives us 2. And that will be the end of our turn. Come on, Deno, get it together, son. There we go. Alright, so a square is, if there is a Spirit-Bound tree, rush and deal 6. However, it's in range 2, so we'll go there. And that will be that. These all slide up. Your attacks have +1 range. We've got to do that, surely. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do reach. Our attacks gain +1 range. And that gained us 2 more power for a total of, however much that is, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So we can use our special ability, which is attack, attack. And we're attack 4. This guy's no armor. So if we move to here, we can attack, attack there and destroy that. And he is doing rush. He's only movement 2. Yep, so we're not going to do that. We're going to move 1 to here. And we're going to spend 6 to attack twice and destroy the tree. Rip the tree to pieces. Still got 2 power left. We suffer 4 damage for doing that. So we're at 21. Our attacks have +1 range, so that's it. That appears there. Skyward Assault. Okay. So this moves across. He's going to rush and attack. 1, 2. So he gets nothing. His next card is going to be Rush and deal 6 damage, and that is bad for us. Yeah, Rush and deal 3 in range 2. Let's go here, attack, pierce 2. It's an attack 4, so we're down to 31. And we gain 3 power. We could accelerate now and have a look at our next card and potentially play it. But no, let's not do that. Oh, it would have been awesome. Stormborn Vale. Alright, this one goes. He's going to rush. And he's going to deal 3 damage to us. The enemy starts its turn within range 2 of the machinery. Is that worth the damage that we're going to deal? No. We'll go there. Yep, so he's going to deal 3 damage. We have no defense against that, so we're down to 18. Next one, he's going to put another tree down. So we'll go for a Stormborn Vale, which is attack pierce 1, attack pierce 1. And we're going to gain 1 power. And we're going to spend that 6 to do attack, attack. So we've attacked 4 times in this turn, but we suffer 4 damage. And our 4 attacks will deal a total of 16 damage. So he's down to 15. And we don't have any power remaining. Majestic Flight. How cool is that? Okay, so this one triggers, and it is, if there is a Spiritbound tree, it's not, so he's going to rush and attack. So we'll rush to there, he's already in range, and he'll just do a normal attack, which is attack 4, but we have 2 shields, so we're going to block 2. So we're down to 12. And then he's going to place a Spiritbound tree here. So that is the farthest space from us. And those all are done. Okay, so we need to start within range 1 of that to get 2 power. We don't. So we can use our lightning strike to just destroy the tree. And I think that is our best option. Yep, we'll just lightning bolt the tree. And that gets us 2 power and destroys the tree. We've got to keep the tree off the board with this guy. Square, there is not a Spiritbound tree, so he's going to deal 3 damage at range 1. Range 2, so we're down to 9. Come on, Deno. Come on, son. So we'll discard that at the end of our turn, because the next one is an attack. That'll give us an extra shield. So yeah, we'll just do a Skyward Assault, which is move and attack, pierce 1. 1, 2. So that's going to be another 4. He's down to 11. It's going to be tight. And then we'll spend a power to discard this one, which fills both of these up. Oh yes, airborne. Get him out of here, Deno. Okay, so this guy goes. We've got an extra shield, He's doing his Spirit Brown Tree, which is rush and attack, so that's only going to do 1 damage to us. We're down to 8 because we have 3 shield. And we can move him up to 3 spaces and he gains slow. And that'll hold him off for 1 turn. His next card is Heal 6, deals silence and weak in range 3. Silence and weak in range 3 is no good. So yeah, we will use Airborne to push him back 1, 2, 3. That gains us a power, but we're going to move back 1 space, spending our power. And that is that. So now this guy moves across, he does this, there's no tree, and so that does silence and weak in range 3, which is none. We're going to use Majestic Flight, which is discard the top card of your deck. If it is an air card, it is an air card. Blink to any one of those spaces, I will. Deal 1 damage to an opponent in any range for each space between you and that opponent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces between us. So he's going to suffer 5 damage. He's down to 6. But he's about to heal himself again. He's going to put a... he's going to do that thing that's not going to matter. Alright, so we are suffering a fatigue card. But he's doing the silence and weak. And then he's going to do his special. His special is to put the tree back on in the furthest range from us. So we gain 2 power. 1, 2. At the start of our turn. And then we're going to gain another... No, that's it. So if we do this dash, we could just go and kill the tree again. I think we'll do that. So we'll dash 1, 2, 3. And that gains us 2 power. And what's he doing next? If there is a tree, rush and deal 6 in range 2. He's going to be moving 3 spaces. 1, 2. If we stay here, he actually doesn't get us. And then we can finish him with our next attack because he's not healing. Yep, so we'll go here. So that triggers, he's going to go 1, 2. He's not in range for us, so it would be an attack 6, which is awful, but we don't have to worry about that. So this goes here. There's an attack pierce 2. Yeah, so I think we do it here. So all we have to do is move 1 space, boom. And then we can grapple this guy to this space here. And then we'll spend 2 to trigger. And then we will spend... we don't need to. We're just going to attack twice using our maul because he's on that space. Attack, attack. It's attack 4, attack 4. He's only got 6 health left. Gaia-Don! Get out of here, Gaia-Don. L2.
The combat suddenly snaps the Gaia-Don out of its hypnotic trance. Tired and confused, the Mystling takes wing and flies away toward the forest. The crisis is averted for the time being, but the Dragon Guardian of the Water returns to battering the barrier, and you have a feeling that it will not last too long.
Alright, so we're going back up to 13 health for our little guy. Secret 61 in that slot. That was a cool fight. That was a cool fight, man. I like that fight. Some of the fights have been really awesome. Some have been okay, but for the most part, everything about this game is a really good product. And it's making me really excited for Grim Coven, actually. Grim Coven's the boss battler from Awaken Realms coming up. Was it 67? No. 57? No. I'll check. 61. Alright, so we've been to here, we've been to here. Let's go visit these guys. L56. Okay, we do not have interference part 7. So we need to get a 5. We have to immediately draw another card. Alright. 1. We have to immediately draw another card, once per test. That's a 6. We can discard a card that we just drew. Done. 5. Fey Helper Part 5. Oh, I didn't look for hidden numbers on this page. Is there any hidden numbers? Alright, let's go and have a look at this dragon, eh?
The Dragon Guardian attacks the barrier with one furious jet after another. The creature seems bent on getting to the portal and shutting it down.
Do we distract the dragon with a counterattack? What an awful plan. Do it, Deno! We don't have interference part 3. We can immediately spend 2 essence to do exactly what we want. Or we've got 2 essence left, so we can just immediately resolve the chosen outcome. Yeah, we'll do that. So we've got no more essence left. We gain Fey Helper Part 1. We've got 5 of 8. Let's go to L71. Confront the dragon now!
You encourage the Fey warriors to taunt the dragon. You are sure that with all the preparations, it will be weakened enough for you to win. The dragon reacts to your actions and takes to the air. A few moments later, it nosedives at the barrier. The diving dragon spits a powerful jet of water at the dome. To everyone's terror, the barrier caves in and begins to crack. The cracks get bigger, and suddenly the camp is flooded by masses of water. But the bulk of the dome withstands the assault. It enrages the dragon even more, and as it swooshes past the curve of the dome, it hits it with its paw. There is a blinding explosion of energy, and all you can see is the roaring dragon, soaring up and clutching its broken paw. Then the beast strikes again and pierces the barrier with the weight of its body. It crushes the tower and many panicking Fae. The portal blinks and blurs, which is a sure sign of instability. The dragon lands heavily, even awkwardly. There is confusion in its eyes as it looks around. The Fae grab their weapons and call the reinforcements from the portal.
Alright, place token A if you have the Secrets of the Past status. We do not have Secrets of the Past. And at least 4 of the following. Interference Part 5, no. Attunement, no. Truth, no. Obviously done well here. Light in the Shadow Parts 3 and 6, I'm sure I've got some of those. Nope, I've got others. A Heavy Heart, no. I do not have any of those.
The dragon is confused, but still strong enough to unleash real hell. Its every attack results in the death of many Fae and Mystlings. The portal itself has also been hit once with a beam of energy and has shrunk as a result. The Fae, however, stand tall and resist the dragon with all they have. Some use the rings to weaken the dragon even more. Others fight it with nasty-looking weapons, constantly aided by Mystlings from the portal. Eventually, the dragon realizes that its fury has brought it to the threshold of death. In a last desperate effort, it flies up, bleeding and oozing essence, but only to receive a few more blows. Still high above the ground, its body transforms into an enormous ball of water. It splashes down and floods the area, carving a large lake in the ground. You cannot believe how much death was necessary to defeat the dragon. Saddened, you also realize that its death may cause further chaos among the elements. The victorious Fae cheer, but their shouts die down as they realize how much their victory has cost them. Skuld and the commander of the camp thank you for your support and promise that you may always come to them as a friend if you need anything.
Tell your people that we seek to cooperate, the commander adds, and if that doesn't work, at least make them understand that we are not a threat. After all that has happened, all we want to do is start a peaceful chapter in our history.
When all the Fae cross the unstable portal, they quickly shut it, relieved that it hasn't collapsed. They also promise to do the same with all the others, once all of their kith and kin are safe in your reality. You gather your thoughts. The largest portal is shut. The dragon's soul has stopped tormenting you, and the Fae are relatively safe. Still, many portals are open, and the Fae's attitude may portend a war on the dragons. When will it all end? The chosen regent was dismissed. The official ruler of Cairburg is Lady Tina, a low-ranking noblewoman eventually chosen by the Queen, who must have sent someone to replace the former Duchess. It's the first time you've ever heard this name. The locals haven't taken a liking to her. Not only do they deem her insecure and too dependent on the Queen's instruction, but also accuse her of disregarding tamers and rangers. Lady Tina is too stubborn to acknowledge the existence of Fae. Her only action was mobilizing more guards to shun the problem. The stories about your tamers fill you with pride. No doubt you trained them well, because their actions in your absence were exemplary. They protected Cairburg from aggressive Mystlings and managed not to harm those Mystlings in the process. You also noticed that there are a few more creatures helping within the walls. Your relationship with Mildred has grown into a solid relationship. You regard one another as trustworthy partners and allies. As a result, the ties between rangers and tamers have never been tighter. At times, when you roll in bed and cannot get any sleep, you remember Skuld. You have met her several times after all, and you didn't find her to be an evil person. You want the loss of two dragon guardians was a heavy blow to the balance of nature. The elemental equilibrium, already shaken by the eclipse, is visibly deteriorating further, which results in a series of disasters such as droughts and earthquakes. So far, they have been sparse and small-scale, but they tend to happen more often. All the more, you hope that nature will one day return to its previous balance. The lands around Cairburg are strewn with newly erected Fae havens, domes, which protect their small communities from dragon guardians. The increasing number of such settlements has finally drawn the attention of human rulers. You fear that one day your people will attempt to destroy what even dragon guardians haven't. You are alarmed by the recent reports of the Rangers. Apparently they saw Artios accompanied by an enormous, ghastly beast oozing darkness. Both creatures headed west. Intrigued, you go there to see it with. Soon, you are close enough to determine that both Mystlings do indeed head west, but seemingly avoid open areas. They must be avoiding the Dragon Guardian's sight. The eclipse, unfortunately, has taken a heavy toll on Moongor. It was to be expected. One of the largest. Believe it or not, but your adventure has just come to an end. We hope you had a great time taming Mystlings and exploring the mysteries of the Dragon Eclipse world. Thank you for playing our game, and we do hope one day to meet again.
So we can try and fight the untamed Mystlings. That's pretty cool. You may still enter the other scripts in the world map. When instructed to start, you must go to Z11 or Z12. Well, there you go. That is Dragon Eclipse. I might put together a little review, I think. A little review of this game. I enjoyed it a lot. I definitely found it, what's the way to describe it? It maybe overstayed its welcome slightly for me. Look at that, so cool. The artwork is incredible. There's a lot of things about it that I love. You know, I really loved the artwork. These are the roguelite maps. So yeah, you start here, and you've got to go up to fight a boss. Yeah, trying to defeat this guy. My only my issue with the game, the story was good. The story was really good, but the combat just wasn't quite crunchy enough for me. There wasn't enough difficult decisions. It was usually you just basically were flipping cards and doing damage and tracking things. There wasn't a lot of to and fro. Things changed fractionally, but it probably just wasn't quite in-depth enough for me. So I loved a lot of aspects of this game, and I would be quite happy to recommend it to a number of people. And what I'm going to do next week is I'm going to take it up to my brother-in-law so that he can play it with my nephews, because I think they would absolutely love it. I've said that multiple times. I'm going to do it, and I'll let you know how I go. But I'm sure they will have a fantastic time with this game. So that's the end of BigDenoPlays Dragon Eclipse. I hope you enjoyed this experience. I did, and I will catch you all in the next playthrough. BigDeno out.